we finally have the first trailer for the new film starring Daniel Day-Lewis in Anemone. Now, as many of you know, Daniel Day-Lewis, he decided to retire from acting after he filmed The Phantom Thread, the Paul Wes Anderson movie, which, if you have not seen, is really good. I know from an optics standpoint, you wouldn't think that it's your cup of tea, but I promise you it's all of our cup of tea. And Daniel Day-Lewis, we could talk about him first. Daniel Day-Lewis is one of those actors. He's a once in a lifetime actor. I mean, I think my favorite movie of his, and maybe a lot of other people will probably second this as well, Gangs of New York, where he played a Butcher Bill Butcher Cutting. One of my favorite performances of all time. Obviously, so much acclaim over his appearance, and over the film There Will Be Blood in general. His take on Abraham Lincoln and Lincoln. Obviously, probably the biggest movie, in the zeitgeist of things, Last of the Mohicans. 9, he was also in The Boxer, the Crucible, for God's sake. I mean, this guy has just got the acting chops. We all know it. We all love him. It was a sad day when he decided to retire. But that day has officially come to an end because not that long ago, he boarded a new film to be made called Anemone. Now, this was to be written and directed by his son, Ronan Day-Lewis. And now, and since then, Daniel Day-Lewis has also had a writer's credit on it. So this is written by Daniel Day-Lewis and Ronan Day-Lewis. And it's also starring Sean Bean and Samantha Morton, which I can't think of a lot of the stuff Samantha Morton's been in. I know that a lot of people love her. I think she's been in a lot of British television. I primarily know her from The Walking Dead. That was my real first big introduction to her. But she's in this film as well, like I said, with Sean Bean. And this movie looks really good. And I've already watched the trailer, but I figured, let's get into it and let's watch it again together because, if you haven't seen it, why not? And if you have, then we're watching it for a second time. But I think that the return of Daniel Day-Lewis and how good this movie genuinely looks warrants us taking another view at it. So let's go ahead and pop this on to the screen. Where do I have it at? I have it right here. All right. Okay, so this is remove. All right, so this is the trailer for Ronan Day-Lewis's first feature film, Anemone, starring the return of Daniel Day-Lewis. I also like that right off the bat. Like with Daniel Day-Lewis, you're getting a character. Like even in his accent, you're like, okay.
This is my life. I've seen my share of lost souls, right?
Sometimes I can't tell if it's Daniel Day-Lewis or Sean Bean. Yeah, I mean, sorry, I don't want to keep pausing. The thing with Daniel Day-Lewis is that in any given scene that he's leading, it's almost like you're watching like real footage. I mean, obviously that's being an actor, is bringing these characters to life, but specifically actors like Daniel Day-Lewis, like you feel like you're watching like filmed content. Like this is like this is not like a filmed movie. Like this is like a real event happening because it's just his mannerisms are so good. They're so good.
The Invisible Man. Ray Stalker.
Also, horror movie elements I didn't expect. I did not expect Daniel Day-Lewis's return to be in a horror style movie.
Been off into the woods. What, 20 years?
Anemone. For those of you who didn't know, I wasn't sure myself. Anemone is a plant. There's a little bit more, to it. But I had to look it up.
Why did he leave us? The army teaches you to grin and bear.
Anemone is a genus of flowering plants in a buttercup family. Plants of the genus are commonly called windflowers. They are native to temperate subtropical regions. all regions except Australia. I'm sure there's probably like more like, what does it symbolize? It's to represent anticipation, good luck, and protection from evil. So take that with what you will. What you will.
The war with crime. We were the phantom soldiers.
Ray never spoke to me about what happened.
There's Samantha Morton.
I can't help you. Till he's told me what happened.
He's got some secrets.
What do you want from me, brother? What do you want?
Soon, October 3rd. Isn't that crazy? Good boy. Ooh. Ooh. That was one of the things that kind of, what, like, you know, this is giving kind of like, it's almost like, obviously this stands to be seen what the story is and what we're getting, but right off the bat, this is kind of giving me like otherworldly Annihilation vibes, where it's kind of like you have to be there to believe it.
You're going to hell, brother. Family reunion.
I mean, come on. How can you not be excited about that? That trailer, it the lost art of a really good trailer just in general, but there are some trailers that have come out recently. You know, your weapons, obviously. What was the other one? What was the other one? Not Barbarian, but the other one that Homeboy from Weapons did. I can't think of the name of it. It's so good. Nicolas Cage. We all loved it, but I can't remember the name of it for some reason. Long Legs. Oh my God. Long Legs. The horror trailers just go so hard. I mean, there's just no denying that. But this one got me hooked, man. Again, the return of Daniel Day-Lewis, I mean, that's not to be slept on. I mean, just in general, that is enough that should just drive butts into movie theaters. But this caught me by surprise. I wasn't, like I said, I was not expecting Daniel Day-Lewis to return to film acting. I definitely didn't expect his return to be in a sort of a horror style film. Now, obviously, this is kind of co-written and it's directed by his son, Ronan Day-Lewis. So that has a lot to do with his return. Now, obviously, you know, why not? You know, you're going to do anything. You're going to change your mind for, you know, whatever your kid needs. That's just being a guardian. That's just being a parent. But what I really hope is this signals a possible return for Daniel Day-Lewis. Maybe he got a little bit of that taste. And he's going to come back. I mean, how old is Daniel Day-Lewis? When was he born? He was born in 1957. So, I mean, let's see. 65, 75, 85, 95, bear with me. 05, 15, 25. He's 68 years old. You know, just the right age to become president, apparently. Kidding. But he's not, he's got a lot of, you know, he's got a lot of gas. I mean, I can see the guy's moving well. We get a nice running scene from him. Like he's agile. He's capable. And I really, 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 I hope that this signals a return from Daniel Day-Lewis. Like I said, my favorite movie of his, Gangs of New York, what him and Leonardo DiCaprio did in that movie, even like, you know, Liam Neeson and Brandon Gleeson, and it's such a good movie. If you haven't watched that, I was telling my partner Paige, I asked her, I was like, have you seen Gangs of New York? She's like, no. I was like, I immediately had put it, we're watching that movie. Maybe at some point of this weekend, we're watching that movie. But yeah, Anemone, this sounds really good. I'm hooked from the trailer. I was already hooked at the return of Daniel Day-Lewis. And I'm really hoping that this signals a return of Daniel Day-Lewis, because I think that he is someone that we are missing from just cinema. There's so much going out, and there's so many names that we're seeing very often. I would know everybody's talking about, you know, Pedro Pascal's and everything. And don't get me wrong, I love Pedro Pascal. Put him in everything. Obviously not everything, but keep the films coming. I'll keep showing up for it. But there are a lot of actors that we miss. And Daniel Day-Lewis is one of those actors that I have severely I've really, really, really missed since Phantom Thread came out in 2017. It's been what, 8 years, since he retired. So we are definitely due. Now this comes out October 3rd, I believe is what it said, October 3rd, which is not too far away, which is something. And also that's another thing that I love is that, with all these, like, I guess it's primarily in like IPs, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel or DC, everybody's clamoring for this. So all these projects get announced years in advance. And I like the idea of, like, obviously this is announced years in advance, but I like the idea that we're getting a first look for a movie that comes out in less than this comes out in a month and a half, not even a month and a half. I love that. I'm all for it. Like I, in my opinion, normalize that. I'm tired of like getting these announcements years in advance, these casting, these stories, even trailers a year and a half in advance. And then it gets pushed out and changes and then reshoots and all this happens. And you finally see it and you're like, I know so much about this movie, about what's going on. I'm just going for the spectacle. Like, let's normalize releasing trailers like months tops before they come out. The fact that this comes, obviously like a month, less than a month and a half is a little bit wild. I still like it. It's a little wild, but like, 2-3 months before it comes out, build that hype right at the gateway. Like Marvel, DC, people are going to show up. Don't trip. But yeah, we'll see. I'll be in theaters to see Anemone. I will definitely be in theaters to spend my money into support for Daniel Day-Lewis, if it means at all that he may or may not return. But put in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for Anemone? Are you guys ecstatic for Daniel Day-Lewis? What is your favorite Daniel Day-Lewis movie? Do you think that we need a return of Daniel Day-Lewis to cinema? I hope you agree, because I certainly think so.